Seth Rollins' immediate reaction after crushing CM Punk's dream at WWE Elimination Chamber 2025. Seth Rollins crushed CM Punk's dreams at WWE Elimination Chamber 2025 in a devastating fashion. Later, a clip went viral where the visionary berated the Second City Saint even as he was passed out in the middle of the ring. After defeating Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw, CM Punk earned his spot in the men's Elimination Chamber. However, Seth Rollins wasn't okay with it and wanted to get one up on the Second City Saint for ruining his moment at WWE Royal Rumble 2025 recently. A clip went viral from the event where Seth Rollins was seen screaming at CM Punk to die after the visionary crushed the Second City Saint's dream of headlining WrestleMania 41. In the end, John Cena won the men's Elimination Chamber match. During the men's Elimination Chamber match last night, both CM Punk and John Cena hit their finishers on Seth Rollins, and Punk eliminated Rollins from the match. This infuriated the visionary, who stomped the straight-edge star outside the mat, which allowed the Cenation leader to lock Punk in an STF, following which Punk passed out and lost his chance to main event the show of shows. However, the visionary wasn't done with the voice of the voiceless, and made it his mission to make sure that CM Punk wouldn't headline WrestleMania 41. Later, the two met in the men's Royal Rumble match, and Punk eliminated Rollins and Roman Reigns simultaneously at the over-the-top rope bout. In retaliation, Rollins attacked Reigns outside the ring, and the original tribal chief was written off television. Last month, the visionary defeated Finn Balor, and the Second City Saint defeated Sami Zayn to qualify for the men's Elimination Chamber match respectively at WWE Elimination Chamber 2025. After the recent events, it's clear that CM Punk and Seth Rollins will continue their feud and could go on to have a match at WrestleMania 41. It'll be interesting to see how Roman Reigns fits into the picture heading to Las Vegas. Is it time for Seth Rollins to say goodbye to the world of WWE? The visionary talks about his future plan. Seth Rollins has been entertaining the fans of WWE for more than a decade. Now, close to hitting 40, it might be time for him to hang up the hood and say goodbye to the ring that has given him so much love and fame. But he is not ready to give up on it just yet, and said he still has a couple more years to go before he leaves the ring behind as a permanent fixture. In recent years, he had the 3-match series against Cody Rhodes to brag about after the latter returned at WrestleMania 38. And now, his rivalry with CM Punk has been one of the biggest storylines of WWE. Their back and forth over the last year culminated in the headliner fight during the debut episode of Raw on Netflix. Unfortunately for the visionary, CM Punk came out victorious in that fight. But if anyone thinks that is the end of the road for this rivalry, then you need to think once more. Seth Rollins recently appeared on the Insight podcast before Chris Van Vliet, where he opened up about his future plans. Previously, he had touched upon the subject on the Pivot podcast, speaking about his plans after retirement and what he sees for himself in the coming years. This time, he expanded more on his future plans, saying he still has a couple more years in him before he leaves the ring as a full-time competitor. But given he's going to hit 40 soon, he has started thinking about it. I think about it all the time. I am 38. I'll be 39 in May. I think I've got more than a couple of years left in me. It's just like riding a bike for me. We'll see how it is for people coming up who need that experience. We'll see what that looks like in a few years. He also talked about his family. His daughter with Becky Lynch is growing up, and Rollins said he wants to spend more time with her. Giving all his time to the company will not be feasible in the future, but he doesn't want to leave it all behind either. Now will be about how he intends to spend his time and what he prioritizes more at a given time. WWE superstar Seth Rollins, the architect of chaos, early life, career highlights, and achievements. As Seth Rollins thinks of himself as the architect, he has certainly put himself in the ranks of the most versatile and dynamic performers in WWE history. With over a decade of Rollins in the industry, the man has bagged numerous accolades, dazzling fans with phenomenal ring work and an enthralling personality. The rise of Rollins from the humble days of his wrestling career as an independent wrestler to a multi-time champion is an inspiring tribute to talent, resilience, and hard work. Let us track down Seth Rollins' early life and some career highlights of the WWE legend. Seth Rollins' early life and the beginning of his WWE career. Seth Rollins, born Colby Lopez on May 28, 1986, in Davenport, Iowa, developed a passion for wrestling fairly early on. His youth. Seth Rollins declares CM Punk his biggest rival and that he loves Roman Reigns in a recent interview on Up and Adams with Kay Adams. Rollins was asked who he despised more between Punk and Reigns. Seth Rollins recently spoke about his intense rivalry with CM Punk and Roman Reigns following their chaotic clash at WWE Royal Rumble. The three superstars were involved in a heated brawl during the closing moments of the men's match. As Rollins and Reigns battled to eliminate each other, CM Punk seized the opportunity and took them both out. However, his victory was short-lived as Logan Paul ultimately defeated him. Seth Rollins recently spoke about his intense rivalry with CM Punk and Roman Reigns following their chaotic clash at WWE Royal Rumble. The three superstars were involved in a heated brawl during the closing moments of the men's match. As Rollins and Reigns battled to eliminate each other, CM Punk seized the opportunity and took them both out. However, his victory was short-lived as Logan Paul ultimately defeated him. Seth Rollins has lifted the lid on the reasons behind his dislike of CM Punk. The duo have been at odds since Punk returned to WWE at Survivor Series 2023 and looks set to meet for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40 before a torn triceps muscle sidelined the Second City Saint. For over 6 months, that CM Punk and Seth Rollins reignited their feud in late 2024 and made history when headlining the debut of WWE Raw on Netflix, held at Los Angeles' Intuit Dome on January 6, 2025. Speaking during a recent appearance on The Maggie and Perloff Show, the former Shield member opened up about his strained relationship with CM Punk. Noting that both men have different perspectives on their relationship, there is a lot of personal history there between me and CM Punk and different perspectives. He's on a different side of and is 10 years older than I am. He sees our relationship a lot different than I did. It's been very interesting to kind of lay all of this out to the world because I think people see it from both sides, especially someone who might be a fan of CM Punk. They root for him and want him to come back and long for him to come back to WWE. Then you hear the side of the people who he sort of stepped on along the way with no apology and no remorse. You start to hear that and ask questions about whose side am I really on here? Who is a good guy and who is a bad guy? I think that's what makes it interesting for me. It's been an interesting time and year to lay all of that out, stuff I've kept inside for a long time. You see it pop out here and there in little interviews. Now I finally get a microphone and be able to unload on the guy. The truth is the truth, and sometimes it hurts. Seth Rollins names Dream WrestleMania 41 opponent. After being eliminated from the Royal Rumble by CM Punk on February 2nd, Seth Rollins attacked both the voice of the voiceless and Roman Reigns in a stunning assault at ringside. Seth Rollins will compete in a men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match next week on WWE Raw. He will face former Universal Champion Finn Balor in a singles match. However, wrestling veteran Vince Russo does not seem very excited about the two former rivals squaring off once again. The Visionary was present on last night's Raw, where he talked about his goals for the WrestleMania season. However, he was soon interrupted by Finn Balor. They touched upon their history, recalling the Universal Championship match between them years ago at SummerSlam. However, Vince Russo is not impressed with the matchup. The former WWE writer questioned if anyone's even interested in seeing the two collide during his appearance on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of RAW. Is there anyone on this planet that cares about Seth Rollins and Finn Balor? Is there one person? One? He said,